Hey everyone, my name is Kenneth and this is my mom Carol and that's my wife Kat. And today we're going to share my mom's journey from stage 3 to cancer free.
I first discovered a lump on my right breast, and then from there I made an appointment at NCC, and within 2 weeks I was diagnosed and confirmed it was metastatic aggressive breast cancer, which has already spread to my lymph nodes and some parts of my bones.
Bones.
Yes. My worries when the doctor broke the news to me was my family. First thing that came to mind was my family. Second thing was how bad and how am I going to fight this? And then the third, of course, is the medical fees. So I finally decided to go through the chemotherapies that my oncologist recommend, and on top of that, I also decided to make lifestyle changes.
Yeah, because for most of the cancer treatment, usually it goes mostly straight into chemotherapy. That's the first thing that's recommended. But I think for myself and Kenneth, because we've been plant-based for the past 3 years, and after going through a plant-based diet and lifestyle, we feel like a huge health improvement in our bodies, both me and Kenneth. And when we discovered that, like I call her Mimi, when we discovered Mimi has cancer and she's about to battle cancer, the first thing I did was I actually went to the library and I remember borrowing as many books as I can on breast cancer. So I took 10 books back that day, and I remember reading through all of them as quickly as I could. So what I discovered was 9 out of 10 books actually talked about a plant-based lifestyle to battle breast cancer. And that to me was really, really interesting, because I was already on a plant-based lifestyle, thinking that it's going to help me in terms of sports,
Overall
in terms of being active, overall body health. I've never thought of it from fighting cancer point of view with the plant-based diet, and to see this kind of open my eyes to a whole new possibility of having a lifestyle change to help fight not just the cancer, but to be strong enough to fight the chemo medication. Because as Kenneth, you always say
I think that the body has to be strong enough to actually go through chemo. If your body is not strong enough, if your blood count is not good, right?
Yes.
You cannot even go through chemo. So first things first, we want our mom's body to be strong, to go through chemo. So we actually are fighting it on both ends, Western medicine as well as a lifestyle change.
So the doctor did warn that chemotherapy has a lot of side effects.
Yes.
So that's where I decided to take their advice and switch to a plant-based diet.
Yeah, we felt in that time, I felt was very lucky that Mimi was open to taking the advice, because we did not want to push this onto her also. When I found all the information that I found, I just wanted to present it to her and show her that, oh, this is what I saw, and if she's willing to give this a try, then we were already saying that we're going to be there with her every step of the way, finding out what recipes, how we can make the food for her, cook the food for her. So I think when she was open to it, then that's how we started, okay, let's do this lifestyle change. Let's fight this on all fronts, whether it's from the treatment or from food and diet. And that's why this is very, very important. This video, we want to really go through how it's not so much about the chemo, but more of how we took maybe things.
I think it's a process.
It's a process,
it's the journey, and how my mom actually took control of how she wants to fight this.
I have doing the chemo sessions, right? We what the doctor told me was we have a lot of side effects. Okay?
Yep.
I will lose my taste bud.
Yep.
Definitely, I can't taste food.
Correct.
So whatever you tell me, you can give me something very sweet or what, I might not be able to taste it well.
Correct.
Whatever. So when I did their advice, I went to the plant-based, I water fried my vegetable. I have a personal chef, my husband. Yeah. And I just water fried everything. Of course, some days you will feel like
Vomiting.
but
Right.
which I did not.
Luckily, yeah.
Luckily, one of the side effects of chemo is vomiting, constipation or diarrhea, dry itchy skin.
Did you get any of that?
So I'm glad that when I am on full plant-based diet, you will be surprised. I suffered none of the side effects. Everyone in the hospital and the nurses that I spoke to, every time I visit them, they ask me, I say I got none of this. They were very surprised.
Yeah.
So from there, I believe that my diet really helps me.
Made a difference, right?
Yes, it
So
really
then
makes
even
a
like
difference. Blackened nails.
blackened nails.
Which I also
Don't
I
have,
don't
right?
have blackened nails. I don't
And-
have dry itchy skin.
Dry
And so,
throat,
yeah.
dry
Oh,
throat.
and another one is the ulcers,
ulcers.
in the mouth.
Ulcers, yeah.
They will tell me to gargle and all that, which I did not. Just after food, I rinse my mouth normally.
So that's actually
That's
the
the amazing
very
thing.
incredible part, because we were warned by like the oncologists, right, to just be prepared. We were prepared
So the nurses,
for everything, and the nurses telling us
they
this.
were warning
So we
me
were
to-
really like thinking, okay, when is it coming? Is it coming? Are these side effects
Yeah.
gonna hit hard, and how is it gonna affect the journey, right? But we really do believe that with the plant-based diet and with Mimi not suffering any of those, except for the hair
Loss of
loss,
hair.
because that's from the chemo
hair loss
meds,
definitely.
Hair loss definitely.
Definitely for
uh,
breast cancer.
Loss
and
of taste.
because those are
Loss of
the
taste.
fast-growing cells,
Yeah.
right? So it's because of the chemo meds, and those were the only two things which will come back naturally once you're off chemotherapy.
Yeah.
But the other side effects, like what Mimi just mentioned,
Nausea, diarrhea, itchy
Constip-
skin, constipation,
Like-
ulcers.
absolutely none of that.
None of
None of
that.
that. So that was in itself a
Miracle.
huge blessing, a
Yeah.
huge miracle.
Yes, and I believe the plant-based diet, I have the full nutrients that I need.
Definitely.
Because before every session of chemo, you need to do a blood test for your platelet count and red count, blood cell, whatever.
Yeah.
I passed through every
Single
single
session.
session, and the nurses were saying I'm even better. My blood count is even better than some normal.
Yeah, that was
person.
amazing. I mean, the
And
nurses
that was-
actually told my mom.
Amazing, yeah, that was really amazing, and it was like I was looking good. I did lose weight because I was very obese. So when I go on this plant-based diet, I lost all the unwanted weights. So from 85, I lost to 69, and then from there, I remained at 69.
Yeah.
No more dropping already. So it was stagnant at 69.
It was loss of unhealthy weight, and
Yeah.
and if Mimi doesn't mind, we can share some of them.
Oh, no. So,
We'll sneak in a few
we'll sneak
pictures.
in.
So the nurses were very surprised with my progress.
Yeah.
I would chit chat with them, and because I asked them how and all that, then they were saying you are looking so great, you are looking so well. Even my oncologist every time see me, each time they say I'm looking great. Because when I decided to fight this whole journey, and then it's for the family, I have to be strong and bring up the best in myself to fight it. So I will never neglect myself, so I still make myself pretty. So when I go there, the nurses say, oh, the pretty lady is here. So actually, the family
Yeah.
help. Then the diet is something that I recommended, because after my sessions of chemo, I did really meet a few of friends that they had diagnosed with breast cancer. Then they came to me, and I shared my experience. I taught them how I eat and what I eat, and they were worried, which we will come to later. Why so many worries, and what food can I not take and what food I must take. And then all the meals and all that you need this, you need that. So I don't think so. So I give them some advice. We will come to that later.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
The main things that I saw in the books, they would talk about how dairy, like cow's milk, eggs, cheese, it's all linked to breast cancer in women and prostate cancer in men, as well as processed meat like ham, sausages, or some books would even say meat itself, like red meat and fish. It's not even good for fighting cancer.
I mean in general, people already don't eat red meat every day. People don't take massive amounts of dairy. It's not really good, really.
Because of the level, the hormone levels, that's the main thing I took back from all the books that we saw, right? And the other thing would be to go as much as possible on a whole food plant-based diet. So when we're talking about plant-based diet, we're saying whole foods. That means as natural as possible, things that grow from the ground, grow from the trees, and we cook with minimal, or even not minimal, absolutely no salt, no oil, no sugar. So those are the couple of things that we want to take note as well. There was no sugar, no salt, and no oil, right? So even if we did any cooking, we only water fried the food, right? A lot of the food water fried. And later on in this video we'll be sharing some of the photos of the food as well. So water fried, no salt, so we do not need to add salt into the food.
Correct.
But we can talk a little bit more about the taste buds later. That's actually a very interesting thing to talk about. And what was that? No salt, no oil, and no sugar. So sugar is a very important thing because sugar is what feeds cancer. So a lot of people have gone through it. They kind of know sugar is like a huge no-no when it comes to fighting cancer.
Correct.
So we're talking about like honey or anything else. Is absolutely none of that. Like no sugar. But
fruits
sugar,
are fine.
Yeah, I was about to say you can talk about that.
Because fruits are fine. Fruits are not processed sugar. When you eat a fruit, you take in the fiber and take in everything, the whole fruit itself. So when we talk about plant-based, right, we are talking about whole foods, like what Kat mentioned. It's natural food. An apple is an apple, a vegetable is a vegetable. It is not processed in any sense.
So for a personal journey in terms of fruit, if Mimi wants to eat fruit, yeah, she can eat. But sometimes if you're too tired to eat and you want to drink the fruit, we actually recommend blend instead of juicing.
Like a smoothie. Blending.
We recommended the blending because with blending, I think you still kind of have the fiber with the blend. Because juicing, what will happen is when you juice, you take the fiber out and you're drinking concentrated sugar.
Concentrated fruit.
The easiest example we give is it takes about 7 to 8 oranges to make a glass of orange juice.
Yeah.
But can you eat 7 to 8 oranges? You will not do that. You probably take a few.
That's too much sugar.
Yeah.
And in fact, when we talk about blended smoothies, almost half or more than half of the smoothies it's actually vegetables and not fruit. So we have blended smoothies of tomatoes, sometimes cucumbers, or celery, apple, and then of course we have the one fruit, avocado,
blueberries,
nuts. We have walnuts as well added in, and when we get the walnuts, it's actually the raw walnuts. So it's not the ones that we get from the supermarkets, salted, roasted. We get the raw walnuts. So the nutrients, it's still very much intact in the raw nuts. Yes. So that's mainly how our diet is, and we would really like to share some photos of the food that I managed to find and prepare. And it although at first we talk about like no oil, no salt, it may sound boring, but trust me, the food actually looks really nice. So enjoy some of these pictures. So these are some of the food we made.
they ask me, oh, you don't take eggs, you don't take
Milk.
milk,
You don't take meat.
you don't take meat, then where the protein come from? And then I told them for the whole year, since I was diagnosed until the time they asked me is about a year, I had none of that. I don't take milk, I don't take meat, I don't
No eggs.
no eggs,
No dairy.
no dairy products,
Yeah.
nothing.
I think when we talk about milk, we're talking about milk from animals, milk from cows.
Yeah.
So maybe they take soy milk.
I
Okay,
take
so
unsweetened
plant
soy milk.
unsweetened soy milk, which is plant-based. I think the protein myth is a huge thing because when both me and Kenneth, when we first went plant-based, that was the first thing that I think we got asked about, like where do you get your protein? But then again, before I went plant-based, I remember asking this question to another one of my cousins who is also eating plant-based, and I was like, where do you get your protein? If you're just because it's the same question I asked someone else. So definitely we just want to make it like clear that plants have protein.
Yeah.
In fact, that is the most original source of protein.
That's
The animals actually get their protein from the plants. So when you slaughter the animal for their flesh to have a bite of what their flesh is, then that's the protein they're getting from the plants anyway. So we're just taking out the middle person, which is the animal, and we're going straight to the protein source, which is the plant-based protein.
Yep.
And that is actually enough protein. In fact, no one will ever be protein deficient on a whole food plant-based diet.
Yeah.
So as long as you're eating the colors of the rainbow, that's very important, like you saw in the food pictures, colors of the rainbow, and 5 different categories. Now let's talk about the 5 categories. You must have your grains, which is like I would usually say like, oh, your brown rice, your black rice is always amazing. Rice is a nice staple. White is not the best because white is too polished and too processed. So black and brown rice is really good for grains. And you'll have your legumes, which is your beans. Remember, we have a lot of black beans.
We have black beans.
So beans, kidney beans, chickpeas, those are amazing.
Edamame beans.
Yeah, edamame, those are amazing for soy legumes. You know, those are the very good ones. And then of course you have your vegetables, which is all your veggies and all the colors of the vegetables.
Yeah.
It's as many colors as possible. You can't just stick to green. You have your tomatoes and everything else. Then you have your fruit, that is a category. Of course, all kinds of fruit, amazing colors of the rainbow. And the last one would be your nuts and seeds.
Yeah.
So you're looking at walnuts. We had more like walnuts more than anything else. Because I've just like read and a lot of books were recommending like walnuts as a good source of omega-3. So that is why it's not necessary to eat fish, because fish, unfortunately, we used to think that, oh, okay, I need fish because of the omega-3. That's what we thought as well. But fish right now, with how toxic the ocean is right now, or even with farming, how the antibiotics have been fed to the fish, and when we consume the fish, unfortunately, we're consuming all the other bad things that come with it. So although there's still omega-3, you're consuming all the rest of the unwanted things that you're putting into your body. So why not go into another omega-3 source from nuts and seeds, which is like healthier, minus the mercury, minus all the toxic from the ocean. So I think for us, calcium as well was a concern. A lot of them were wondering, will you get enough calcium? I think there has been a marketing myth that you need to drink cow's milk to get calcium, or eat cheese to get calcium. So calcium is also found in plants as well. You can easily get and meet most of your requirements, nutrition requirements, if you eat a rainbow whole food plant-based diet.
We always get asked is doing plant-based expensive, and do you have to go organic? Here I would like to tell you guys, me and Kat, we've been plant-based for about 3 to 4 years. Mom has been about nearly 2 years already, right?
More than that.
More than that already.
About 2 years.
And we can confirm with you, it is not expensive at all. Because I'll be doing the groceries. I've been tracking how much I spend, and definitely it is nowhere near expensive, and there is no need to buy organic actually. For us we don't. We just get the vegetables off the shelf, and it comes as it is. It's not organic at all.
Yeah, for me too, when we during my fight, I don't eat everything organic. I just buy the normal veg. I mean, if there is the thing that I want don't have, then the organic, then I will take the organic. Otherwise, I don't specially go and look for organic. So I take what you take.
Yeah.
Whole food, what you take. That's all. I just wash it clean, have it cooked. That's it.
True.
Yeah.
And if you have no choice, if you're eating out, what do we eat here?
In Singapore, right, we have places like hawker centers and food areas, food courts.
Yeah.
So when we are out, there's this like most food courts of hawker centers will have this yong tau fu thing where you can choose your vegetables and they may cook in a soup for you.
Correct.
So this is for if we really have no choice and we are outside. That's usually what my go what
That's
we'll
what
do,
mom
right?
will actually
We will
eat.
pick
Yeah.
all the veggies and but instead of having the soup which will have too much salt, we will usually get the stalls to
Blanch.
just blanch the veggies,
Yeah.
so without the soup, and we just blanch it just to cook the veggies up, and then we'll just have the veggies
Yeah.
by itself. But that is like also we seldom eat that. That's the last resort
Correct.
that we have to, because most of the food we ate during this like Mimi ate during this journey
Was all cooked at home. All cooked at home.
and in fact, like when we had dinner together, on the days we had dinner together, we would eat the same way as Mimi as well,
Yes.
because Kenneth has the same smoothie in the
Yeah.
mornings.
My mom is actually having the same smoothie that I have in the mornings anyway.
Yeah, so my food intake is every morning I will have a big glass of
Smoothie.
Yeah, unsweetened soy milk, oatmeal, then all the fruits,
Vegetables.
vegetable, carrots,
Yeah.
celery, and blend into a big glass. That is my breakfast. Then lunch I will have water fried vegetable or steamed vegetable, really without salt. So when my taste bud return after the chemos, right, then I find that actually I'm fine without all this, and then the vegetable is sweet itself already.
Wow.
So it's
Yeah.
minimum salt. Actually, I still don't add salt.
Amazing.
Yeah. So we use natural seasoning like
Yeah.
pepper,
Oh yes,
turmeric,
for
curry
taste.
powder.
Yeah, coming to that, for taste, right? Some people are very concerned about taste, but for my mom's answer to that was very simple. Going through chemo, you're gonna lose your taste buds anyway. So why are you concerned about taste? Taste is not even a concern. You're fighting for your life.
Yeah.
You're putting food in as nutrient as life now. So food, taste. If you really want taste, then we go for natural spices like what
Turmeric,
Mom said,
right?
turmeric,
pepper,
pepper, chili,
a bit of chili.
chili
Yeah.
powder,
chili
yeah.
powder, and all that.
Because there was one time when Mimi was eating this way, and she said that she really cannot taste anything. Food doesn't taste nice, and sometimes she has no appetite to eat. And that's where we tell her sometimes eating it's not because of the taste or that 10 minutes in your mouth. It's really food for the body. How it helps to recover the whole body. So to fight this fight, you just have to eat it, not just for the sensation of the taste in your mouth, but to have enough energy, fuel to fight this.
Yeah.
And I remember the nurses in the chemo rooms also telling us that you will lose your taste, so no matter how much salt you add, even if you do eat salt, and no matter how much salt you add, you are not going to be able to taste the salt. So that's where I told Mimi, just hang on in there, don't add any salt in, because it's just right now and only for the time being. Once the chemo treatment is done, the taste buds will come back.
And it's a totally different when you eat plant-based during chemo and after chemo. The food tastes much nicer.
Definitely.
Even without the salt and sugar and oil, you are still able to consume it because it's natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's natural. We need exercise.
Yeah.
So I walk an hour every morning or evening, and I also do Zoom classes, exercise with my daughter-in-law, Kat. So I'm doing exercises every day throughout my recovery journey, which is also one of the lifestyle changes.
That's really awesome.
That's very highly recommended by, of course, doctors
Correct.
and anyone going through cancer. It's good to exercise because you want to introduce a lot of oxygen into the body.
Correct.
Then that's what exercise does, right? It gets your heart rate up. You need to breathe a little bit harder. And anyone
renew the cells.
renew your cells because oxygen kills cancer cells in a way because cancer is always afraid of oxygen. Let's just put it in the most simple way. It's just if you oxygen, if a very oxygenated body like a body full of oxygen, it's not going to be the best place for cancer cells to grow.
So we're tackling from 3 fronts now. If you to recap, we are Western medicine. We're talking about chemo. We're talking about diet change, full plant-based diet, as well as exercise. So we are attacking cancer from 3 fronts now.
So the exercise that like Mimi mentioned she did, where she would wake up really early in the morning, like when the skies are still dark, and go for walks. So they were not even talking about like vigorous, like hard exercise. It's just a walk. It's just a walk. Like half an hour, 1 hour walks in
always
the morning.
an hour.
But of course, as a precaution, you would want to have someone with you as well. You know, because halfway through chemo, it got a bit tough, right? The body will naturally still feel weak, so it's best to have like a companion with you, just in case.
That was the bodyguard.
I had the bodyguard and the chef.
Bodyguard and chef.
So really, to all those that are battling cancer, you have to make the change. Really, you have to make the change. And one of the, don't cope yourself up, get up and do the
exercises, right? Because some people may ask like, is it genetic or is it lifestyle that caused this? I saw a quote somewhere that kind of put it quite, if I can remember, put it quite interestingly. It was also in a book about breast cancer. I think it was written in such a way that imagine it like your genetics like a gun, right? Although it's loaded, the lifestyle is the trigger. So you may have the genes, but I think the lifestyle, how you live your life, will be the trigger.
Prevention.
Like you have to make sure that you have you have to make certain lifestyle changes, and that will help because genetics are one thing, but it may not be completely triggered if you can switch up to a different lifestyle.
My biggest motivation here to fight this cancer and go through the journey was my family, my children, and my grandchildren, and my husband.
I remember that Mom told us that she would do anything to fight this disease, and it's really because she wants to go traveling with us again, and she wants to see her grandchildren grow up. Right?
Yes.
So as caregivers, of course, when we first found out the news, we were all devastated, right? We were thinking, okay, what's the plan? What's the next plan? What shall we do? What can we do? And all that. But I think first things first, we all have to be positive. We must have a positive mindset because the most devastated person in the room will be, of course, my mom, right? She's the one that's diagnosed with it. Us on the sidelines, we have to be positive for her. We have to
stay strong for her.
Strong.
Yeah, we have to stay strong for her.
Basically, stay strong for her.
Yeah, and it's with their motivation, and then they keep encouraging me that I finally accepted the fact and decided to fight this journey together with them.
Yeah. So I think accepting the fact was
the most difficult
part. Right?
Because we never, like for me, I never wanted my mom-in-law to feel like she's the only one going through this.
Yeah.
And we are going through this together as a family, together.
So it has to be like the family has to come together in times like this to fight the disease basically.
Yes, to fight this, you need family support, and I'm grateful that I have a very supportive family. My children, my husband, they are all very supportive throughout this whole journey.
Had to go through chemotherapy, and there were 16 sessions. 16 sessions.
It took 4 months.
4 months, and it was a very tough 4 months because every week she has to go in to do the drips, right? And
The
takes
medication in and
5-6 hours per session. Each time she has to sit there, do the medication. It was a very tough time, but thankfully, I think we're pretty sure now it's because of the food and the exercise that she has been doing. She has never missed a single session at all, and her blood count was perfect.
From session 1 to 16,
16.
I breezed through all of them, and my blood test, we will say like exam, passed with flying colours.
Yeah, I think that is something super, really, really amazing. For your blood counter to be at that level is not simple, and it was really through the plant-based diet and exercise, and I guess that you're very positive.
Yeah, I think
Positivity.
The diet
Diet,
and exercise. So these 3 things is
crucial.
and it plays the biggest part during this journey.
Yeah.
So basically, I kill the cancer.
Kill the cancer. Right? So after 16 sessions, my mom went for a full CT scan again. PET scan. MRI as well, right?
No, just a PET scan.
Just a PET scan. Basically, the doctor is able to see a 3D image of the entire body from head to toe. So after 16 sessions, 4 months, my mom was cleared of cancer. Right?
Will we be sharing the picture?
Yeah. We'll look at the pictures will be shared later. I think somewhere I'll insert here.
Yeah.
I'll cut that again.
Because from the first PET scan, I had,
I think it was here, the
here,
lymph nodes, in the spine, in the bones even,
you can see
in the hip. I remember the hip.
Hip bone, backbone. I think there was even one in my
around the hip there. And I still remember the one in the breast, right? It was not a small tumor, It was almost the size of, I think, your fist. I still remember. Yeah, it's 3.5 centimeters
around
by 4 centimeters something, So it's about this size,
Quite a big lump.
It's a very big lump.
It is gone.
And it's just gone,
So
disappeared.
when I was diagnosed, actually the surgeon who saw me said that she briefed me on that, said I have to go through the chemo. After that I have to do
Radiotherapy.
surgery. After surgery I have to do radiation. But so the first stage was chemo. But after the 16 sessions of chemo, which is 4 months, and I went for a full PET scan, everything was gone.
That was amazing.
I did not do any surgery. I don't have to go through surgery and radiation.
Totally gone.
You know what was the oncologist, the reaction? I remember being in the office, and she looked at the scan like on her computer screen.
She scanned it through
once, and then she said, "Hold on, let me check it one more time. Let me look at it again." And then she scrolled through it again, like as if she's not believing. She's not believing what she's seeing.
Very surprised.
She's very surprised. I think that she has maybe never seen a recovery that quick, that fast for this stage. I think so. When the news came, that's where they were also unsure whether or not Mimi should be going
still
for
have to go through
surgery.
for like a breast surgery or any forms of surgery. But thereafter they sent this case to a panel of doctors, and said that, hey,
No surgery.
mom's cleared. There's literally no tumors or cancer cells that are active at the moment. So
they
why
did not recommend
they did not
they
recommend
did not
surgery.
recommend the surgery.
In
so
fact, mom has how would I say,
She's a
newborn,
she's a healthy
person, healthy person.
She's a healthy person, so
Yeah.
why would you do surgery on a healthy person? I
Yeah.
mean, I think that's what they were thinking
nature,
at
yeah.
the time. The panel of doctors were thinking, so they recommended no need for
For
surgery
surgery.
because it's so invasive.
So literally from stage 3 to cancer free in 4 months.
So I can't wait for all of you to look at the pictures. So we've come to the end of this video, and we want to thank all of you for watching this. The reason why I think my mom-in-law Mimi and us, we want to share this story is we're hoping that this goes out there, and maybe this can be a choice that you might want to choose to make, or you have your eyes open to making this choice, because there's so much information out there, and we would like to share a little piece of our own information and what we have gone through, what Mimi has gone through in her journey. I mean, that's the main thing, right? Like, Mimi, for you, what would be the main reason why you want to share this story out to everyone?
Because I fought through this cancer and breast cancer, and I would like to give hope that it's not the end. Anyone battling BC is not the end. Through family support, healthy diet, change of diet, exercise, it's not the end.
Give it a good fight.
Yeah, give it a good fight.
Give it a good
We
fight.
can overcome, we will win, we will emerge the winner. So, with my family support, I am actually the winner. So
Yeah.
I want to share this whole experience with anyone who is battling it.
It really is. I mean, like Mimi, we always say Mimi really is so strong,
Yeah.
mentally and physically, like a real life superwoman.
Yeah.
real life
literally.
superwoman. And that's really the takeaway, right? The whole couple of points here, circle of support from friends, and even at the beginning, just to share, we like
Yeah,
went
I was at the very beginning, I was very sad. So I cry every day. So it's with the family, they come, they talk to me and tell you have to be strong and you have to fight through all this. They will be with me. That I finally decided that I'm going to give it a good fight.
Yeah.
I will not admit defeat. That's when I decided I will go through it and make up my mind to go through it.
And then that's really like the determination of the mind, right? So it really is like family, and at the beginning, like I said, we even met like some ladies in the breast cancer support group. They gave us a lot of words of reassurance, and the plant-based, the diet, like plant-based diet front, that's where we fought. It's exercise, medication, but at the end of the day, it really is also Mimi and her willingness to like say, okay, I'm gonna do this with determination and make this change and fight this fight together. So everything coming as one.
Through this journey, my mom's a winner, and she actually also, I think, we all came out as winners, because seeing her fight cancer like that, it also inspired us to actually fight our own battles, be it in life, in work, or whatever adversities that may come.
And we really hope that this video will help someone else in the future.
Yes.
Who knows where this will go. So with all the love from all of us, from myself, Mimi, and Kenneth, we want to tell everyone out there, stay strong, be strong, because you are strong.